Good morning. Welcome to Dumela, America. My name is Katomokawa Tebe, and I'll be your host for this episode on our PAYLP experience. I have three very special guests with me. They are part of the group that participated in the PAYLP 2024. Is it 2024? PAYLP 2024 cohort. PAYLP 2024-2025. There's a confusion around this. They'll explain as we continue. So they're basically here to let us know like what is PAYLP, how was the experience within the program and in the US. So guys, I'll allow you to introduce yourself. Mosa, please go first.
My name is Mosa Selwe. I'm from Molapulole. I am one of the youth participants for PAYLP 2024 to 2025, which means I attended that program twice.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kimonelo Bunno. I am a teacher of French at Mogodisani Senior Secondary School. I am the mentor who went to America for PAYLP in 2024 and 2025 with Gabriel, Mosa, and Justice Punka.
Good morning, everyone. I am Gabriel Mojaki. I'm 18 years old. I recently finished my Form 5 in Mogodisani Senior, and I've had the privilege to be a PAYLP participant for 2024 as well as 2025.
Great stuff. Thank you for coming, guys. And the group is not complete. We have one more participant who was part of this cohort. Justice, what is his surname? Justice Punka. He's here with us in spirit and physically. He's behind the scenes, actually. So let's start here. Our audiences may not know what PAYLP is. So, Ms. Bono, can you tell us what PAYLP stands for and what the program is basically about?
PAYLP stands for Pan-African Youth Leadership Program. It is a program for African youth who go to the United States after a rigorous way of selecting them, and then they go to the US to be taught and to learn about youth leadership, about how they can be leaders of today as well as of tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting with people who are good leaders.
Yes, and it is all sponsored by the American government. We thank the American government for that initiative.
Perfect. So when I started, I did mention that I couldn't quite understand if you're 2024 cohort or 2025, and it's because you did this program twice,
Yes.
which is not normally what happens. So can you let
Yes.
us know what happened, Ms. Bruno?
In 2025, we left for the US in April. And while we are there at the beginning of April, that was the 6th of April, and we arrived there in Atlanta. And while we were in Atlanta, one of the youth participants, a girl from Equatorial Guinea, she was not well. So we stayed in Atlanta. All the time we were in Atlanta, 3 days she was not well. They didn't know what it was. They thought it was just a headache or something, or a flu, something that they could give her some over-the-counter meds for. But in the end, she was taken to the hospital, and they found out that she had measles. So the whole cohort had to be checked for measles and measles immunity. Those who were found not to have measles immunity were put into quarantine. And then after that, most of the people returned except for us who were in Seattle. Most of us in Seattle, we stayed until the 2nd of May, but the program was cancelled. Essentially, the program was cancelled for that reason, and we were offered to come back again to redo the program.
Oh, well, that's great news. So it's great that America is actually proactive in keeping not just the Americans safe, but the the people who engage with the US. So that's great. And Gabriel, how did it feel knowing that you're going back again to the US?
I was very excited. I was very excited because, you know, as much as I enjoyed the second time, I wanted to go back and actually relive the moment again. So it was a really nice experience for me the first time, despite the unfortunate case that occurred. But I was really happy about going back again. And during our preparations for going back for the second time, we had a little bit of a problem because they had put it on pause because I think there were some technical issues that they were dealing with. But later on, they continued to tell us that no, we are just rescheduling it for a later date. We are not really cancelling it out forever. So I was really excited for going back, and I really, really enjoyed going back for the second time.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Bruno.
I just wanted to add that to thank the American government, especially the health department, for all the care that they give us while we were going through the measles issue. The kids were well fed who were in quarantine. I was not in quarantine. I was with Gabriel outside. That's why we enjoyed everything. We were given all the care, all the love, and we didn't lack for anything at all. Even those in quarantine, they were being spoiled rotten by those by the health department.
Okay, that's very good
and
to
we
hear.
thank them for that.
Yeah. So just to go back a little bit, so we get a lot of questions on our social media profiles. Like every time we post you guys, they're like, so how do I get to be a part of this program? So I'd just like to know, how did you hear about PAYLP and what was the process of application for you?
Okay, well, for us to be able to have heard about this program, it was through our HOD, head of department back in school, Mogodisani Senior. She's one of the alumni of the American exchange program. So we were just home, December 2023. We were just home, then we received a call from her. She called us to school so that we can go through a written interview. She's the one who applied for us, and we thank her for that. So we went to school, went through a written interview, which required you to have passion for civic engagement and youth leadership. Then after the written interview, we went for an oral interview here, where we were asked about our engagement in the community, our educational background, and so and so. So that's how we got to be participants of this program.
So basically, for you to be able to make the cut, you must have good results in school, and you must also engage in community outreach or volunteerism. So Gabriel, what would you say like your contribution in the community was for you to be selected to be part of this?
Okay, before I answer that, can I please share a little bit on how I was selected?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so it was just a random day. I received a call from Malitzatle and she told me about the program. I got so excited, but I didn't really understand what she was talking about because I had never heard of such a program before.
Yes.
So she called me. She told me that I had to write an essay. We arranged for me to do that. And, you know, the questions themselves, they did show me that for you to be selected, you have to be an outgoing person and have outstanding leadership potential. So I took a lot of time. Oh my goodness, I was so skeptical on answering every question. I had to be very careful. And you know the euphoria that comes with knowing that if I don't do well, I don't get selected. Yeah. So I wrote with
passion.
Yeah, with passion and deep desire. So yeah, that's how it was for me. And once again, I would love to thank Malitzatle for this great opportunity because she's the one who sold it out to us. What was your question again? What skills or do I possess that made me get selected?
No. Well, clearly you had like leadership skills. I was asking about volunteerism because volunteerism is a very important thing in the US. For you to get a job for anything, you need to showcase that you have engaged with your community. So I just wanted to know, like, for you in Botswana, what did you do? How did you engage with your community?
Okay. For volunteerism, what I had done most of the time is that I actually as much as it's a lot of work, I actually love to help students, like students who are struggling with their academics. So I'll do this not only in school but outside as well. As of now, I'm actually a tutor. Yes, I get paid, but it's not that much. So back in school, I used to do it as me saying, this group of students who need help with this particular subjects, please come and I'll help you. And outside of school, even during holidays, I would tell my friends and I would tell them, bring your friends, and whoever is struggling with this particular topic in mathematics, I would be available to help. Even in primary schools, I would go to those primary schools, talk to those teachers, and then tell them that, I'm actually available to motivate the students if you would allow me to do that. So those are the kind of activities that I went around doing.
Okay, no, that's great. So for our audience, I'd just like to send this message that I know volunteerism is not a very big culture in Botswana. But now if you're going to work, you must get paid for it. So I would just like to encourage the people out there to really just go out there and help however way you can in your community, because we all need each other, and also it looks good on your CVs. Like, your CV doesn't have to be a job that you've paid for. It can be your contribution to whoever. Ms. Bono, obviously you are slightly older than these two here, so I just want to understand your role within the PAYLP program.
My role in the PAYLP is to make sure that everything goes smoothly, and to make sure that they do participate in all the tasks that they are given, and most importantly, to accompany them and give them that security that somebody is here for me. If I fall, they will pick me up. If something happens, somebody will be there to look out for me in this strange country, far away from home. So that was my main
Okay.
duty.
Did you have to apply for that role, or
Yes, yes. Like he has pointed out, Malesatle is Mrs. Precious Lesatle. She's an HOD.
Shout out Precious.
Yeah, she's the head of department at Mogodisani Senior Secondary School, and she went to America for the Fulbright, and then when the American embassy wanted to start this program in public schools, because I do believe it was done in private schools. It used to be done in private schools, so they wanted to introduce it to a public school. And we know that with government institutions, there is a lot of red tape. So they approached her as somebody they knew, as somebody who is an alumni of the American exchange programs, and to see if they could work with a public school. So she really worked hard on this one. She got to call the kids, and she also encouraged the teachers. There were 3 of us who applied. She encouraged the teachers to apply for the mentorship role, and then she was doing most of the legwork, printing things, sending things, doing a lot, and we really appreciate her for that, because her presence in our school ensured that the American embassy approached our school, and then we were able to compete with the others from our school, and we managed to be selected.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So obviously to us, America is a foreign country, and I'm sure there's a lot of differences and things that you experience over there that you haven't seen. So Mosa, could you tell us about some of the culture shocks that you experienced while in the US?
Well, I don't think I will label it as a culture shock. I don't know if it's a culture shock, but I would say when I was in Seattle, we visited one of the high schools, Graham High School, and there I found out that there was a student board, and this student board was responsible for making sure that activities, clubs, sports are facilitated are facilitated in school, and they had a responsibility towards the finances of the school, and that was really shocking for me, because they had a say in how much money was going to be spent in the students, how much money was going to be spent in the sporting codes and in the clubs. So that was just awesome and shocking for me.
Gabriel, what would you say shocked you about?
The culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. It's not necessarily a culture shock, but part of the program is actually staying with host families. As in, you just go out there and live with the family, and then for like a week or so. So for me, I got randomly selected to stay with a family who were actually vegetarians.
Oh,
So
no.
it's not a culture shock, but
That's terrible.
but it's something that, as much as I wanted to have meat, I actually enjoyed the experience because it was challenging and I had to adapt to that. So it wasn't necessarily a culture shock, but it was something that, oh my goodness, I had to really, really adapt to and get used to. But
So you stayed a whole week without meat?
no. Oh, well,
You
some
cheated.
some of my friends, I have friends like from South Africa. They would get me food from their places, and I would have meat, and even the family themselves. They were, oh my goodness, I really appreciate them. Sometimes they'd get me pizza, like chicken pizza by myself. They would buy themselves vegetarian pizza, and they'd get me chicken pizza. So yeah.
Speaking about food, how's the food in the US, Miss Bono?
The first time around, the food was not good at all. I did not enjoy the food. Like when I was in Atlanta, I was always sick. Like I couldn't, I ate, I would be hungry. I was always hungry. Even when I go to Seattle, I was hungry the whole time. And this time around, I enjoyed the food. Starting from in DC, when we arrived in Washington, D.C., the food was fine there. It was good. And in Seattle, I also
Like, what's
enjoyed
not
the
nice?
food.
What's not nice? Is it the way of cooking, or
I
the
think
burgers are just not good?
it was the way of cooking, not burgers per se. I didn't eat so much of the burgers because we were eating healthy. But most of the time I did not, I don't know, it was the cooking, because in Atlanta the food was not nice. But the same food given in Seattle, it was nicer. So I think it was mostly cooking. It was not about the food.
Okay. And you, Mosa, no bad experience with the food?
Well, I'm someone who's very interested in cooking food, cuisine. So for me, they had a very wide variety of food. Some of them I enjoyed, some of them I didn't. Let me highlight this. I was staying with a Ukrainian family. So most of the food they were eating, it was Ukrainian. So I was so interested in how they were cooking the food. So I will stay in the kitchen, observe how they cook. So one of my favorite food I enjoyed, it's called borscht. It's a Ukrainian soup that was so delicious and scrumptious. I loved it. Yeah.
We're coming for bush after this. So just let us know, after coming back from the US, what have you taken out of that experience, and are you working on anything that has been inspired by the program? Start with you, Musa.
Our daily schedules when we were back in Seattle and in Washington, D.C., they were informative and engaging schedules. So we attended conferences, we attended meetings where we learned about leadership as a whole. We learned about project planning. We learned about just being yourself, just putting yourself out there as a leader. So that helped us to develop our leadership skills, public speaking, and how to interact with other people from other cultures. So from that schedule, we were able to come up with an initiative or an idea on how we can help our community, how we can tackle a certain problem that we have identified from our community. So as a group, as a cohort, as Botswana cohort, we came up with a project. We call it Follow the Leader. It was inspired by the game Follow the Leader. I hope you know it. Is it follow the leader, right? Yeah. So that project is aimed at fostering leadership skills through sporting codes and clubs. So I believe my cohort members will add more on that.
Go ahead and add to that, Gabriel.
All right. Follow the leader. Mosa,
That's
when
a
you-
nice name, by the way. I
Yes,
like it.
when she says follow the leader, she means that we hope that what we do now inspires the upcoming people to follow in our footsteps and actually do the same thing. So, in our country, we have a problem. The problem is lack of engagement in sports by youth. So I always say to my friends that a problem identified is a problem half solved. So our plan or our movement is that we want to re-establish and re-engage students into sports for the whole purpose of having a thriving and active school, a school where they can have a place where they can refresh and have fun, a school where we know that after books, kids can go there and spend their time there rather than engaging in other activities such as drugs. Because you'd realize that sometimes people engage in these certain activities because they have excess time. But after school and then you have sports to do, it limits your time and stuff like that. So that is the problem, and that is how we are planning on tackling it. And just to share a bit, as of now, I've already visited a school back in Letlhakane. It's called Ditweletse. So I visited them. I approached the leadership board. They given me the privilege to meet the kids, particularly the Form 1s and the Form 2s, and talk to them about the importance and the significance of sports in general before it goes to books. Because, its benefits goes way beyond than having time to refresh and having fun. Some people can actually get scholarships out of them. Some people can actually make a career out of them. So I got the privilege to meet them and share such information with them. So that is mainly what our project is. That is the main group that our project is targeting, and that is our way of approaching them.
Okay. So Ms. Bruno, are you part of the project as well? And what is your role?
I am a part of the project, and I am happy that we are making some headways. We also, because this project is what we carried from the 2024 PAYLP. When we came back, we did try to do it. We did something. We met with Mogoditsani Senior, and we also hosted an open day at Lab and Sports Open Day. It was a very nice thing, and that's why we now wish to expand it to other schools so that we can basically involve more kids, because the problem is that right now, with the sports not being active in schools, kids are getting frustrated. And
we're losing talent.
Yeah, we are losing a lot of talent, and I think it leads to things like vandalism. When these kids, like he's saying, when they are idle, and idle mind is the devil's workshop. So you find that our public schools are in tatters.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that this could address, because we really need to address that issue of vandalism in schools. And some ways like this, getting kids involved in sports, keeping them busy will be helpful, will be certainly helpful.
Okay. And is justice also part of the project?
Yes, he is he's a fundamental part of our project.
Great.
He's still to do something in Molepolole. I gave them the tasks to do the like he did in Ditweletse, where he is in Letlhakane, because you are supposed to do these things in our communities.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he has
yes.
to do something in Molepolole, and then we are to do something in Mogoditsani also, as the main school where we came from.
Well, I think it's great that you guys remained part of a group and are still engaging with each other and doing all these wonderful things in the community. And as we prepare to close off our episode for this Friday, what would be your last words? Just what would you want our audience to know, whether about professionalism, leadership, whatever, any messages? Yeah, you can start, Sister.
I really want to talk about this. In Seattle is a very clean city, and that's one of the things that I saw. That was remarkable about where we were. The people there, even in restaurants, they will clean after themselves. Some fast food outlets, they clean after
That's a
themselves.
culture shock.
Yes, they eat, then they take their everything. You find everything is clean, and it's because when you watch people, they come in, they sit down, eat, then they take the trash and return everything to the counter there. And it's something that really stayed with me, because Botswana is very dirty. Especially where I come from in Mogoditshane, people throw litter through the windows. They do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things I wish could be tackled. I wish we could find a way to stop this littering and stop this staying in dirty environments and not caring about our environment at all. So I really, really, really wish to see a difference in that aspect also. And yes, I thank the United States of America for giving me this opportunity to accompany these extraordinary young people and to go with them to America and experience this leadership program. It was not in vain, I can assure you that, because I've been with them. I know how capable they are. I know what they are. They are really, really working hard to give out something, ensure that the money that was spent on them was not thrown away. I really, I really am happy that I was I'm a fundamental part of their lives now. They are my children. I love them, and I believe we'll keep on doing great things together in the future.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Gabriel, take it away.
Okay, because I love to talk and I like to talk about the trip, let me. Okay, you know what? I say this with pride. I've never traveled out of the country through airport. I've only on flights. So I've had the privilege. So I'm just gonna give say all the flights that we've been in. So we have had the privilege to fly from Botswana to South Africa. Then from South Africa, we connected when we went to Washington, D.C., spent a few days in Washington, D.C., and then flew to Seattle. From Seattle, on our way back home, we connected through Germany and then South Africa, and then finally we came back home. So I love flying, okay? I love it. And the service was excellent. The service was very nice, and I just love that. Okay, other than that, other than myself, the trip, and I would just love to give advice out there. You know, being a leader is very important, and having leadership skills is very important. Not only for other people, but for yourselves as well. Not only for, even professional-wise, career-wise, it's very important. For you to thrive in life, you should have leadership potential and leadership skills. And for you to acquire those, it requires leadership training. Not only training, but observations from people who you admire and who you believe are leaders who you'd want to be like. So I urge people, whenever they see a program as such, please try your best to apply for it. Whenever you have an opportunity to demonstrate your leadership capabilities, please do so. And volunteerism is one of them. Please do not undermine the power of volunteerism. Volunteerism is our way for us to keep together, engage, and be connected. And it's our way of giving back to the community. Giving back to the community is one thing that people in the United States value very much. And they value it so much that I have seen at some point that the way they punish their kids is that they have to do volunteer work. Like if you are a juvenile, the way you do it is that you have to do it. I know that we do it here, but it's not as common as in the US. So I urge people out there to try their best to volunteer and give back to their communities. Thank you.
So my word will be for the youth. When I was in the United States, I realized that the youth are very engaged, like it's very deep. In Seattle, we met Seattle Youth Commission. That's a youth-led advisory group, and it's a board of, I think it's 12 teens. They're elected by the mayor and the city council. So they have their work is to address issues that involve the youth, education, mental health. They are part of the city council. So I would say to the youth, make sure that you are engaged, be part of your community. Even if it's a small thing, make sure that you implement it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. One last question. I almost forgot. You're looking very nice. I like your hoodies. I expect one after this. Please tell me, what is this? What is the outfit all about? Gabriel, take it away.
Oh my goodness, right? Okay.
You seem the most excited.
I'm excited, but I hoped that Mabono would answer the question.
Okay.
So we wanted to look very nice, and we wanted to match ourselves, even though I'm standing out, but we still have the same logo. So before traveling, actually, Mabono bought this for us. So she bought this for us. She's a very lovely parent. Yeah. So she bought this for us to travel there. So we thought that it would look really nice if you come for the podcast.
Great choice. Great choice. And that is it for our Dumela America episode for today. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Ms. Bono. Thank you, Mosa and Justice. See you next time.